Gianni, hi guys. You just posted on YouTube a Mount Rushmore question for top guys in the industry. My question is, what would your top/Mount Rushmore of biggest heat/fans irate moments in wrestling history would be? So what angles would you say really, really, in a good way, or maybe even white heat, bad way, really upset the fans?
Well, I'm trying to think in WWE terms. I don't remember anything really that upset them that badly.
It can be anywhere. I mean, you've seen enough riots before.
One that I can remember, and I was there, was in the Omni. It was a Sunday. I think it started at 7 o'clock, or it's at the end of the night. Dusty had had trouble with the Anderson brothers for like months and months and months. Dusty didn't have a partner. And it went on to where the Assassins, they beat him up on TV one day, and Ole came out there, I think, and saved Dusty, which everybody says, why would he do that? And he says, Dusty, I tell you what, I hate your guts. But he said, if you're looking for a partner, but they got Dusty in the cage in the Omni, and it was full, like 16,000 people. So they beat the hell out of Ole to Dusty. Dusty made the tag to Ole, and the people popped, and he got in there. And then Dusty was just slumped over in the corner. And then all of a sudden, Ole just stopped and said, all right, you son of a bitch. This is what you get. And all three of them started beating the living crap out of Dusty. So I told them it was a setup the whole time. And they beat him, and they were pulling people off the cage. The people were upset. Finally told them they had to get out. And they left Ole laying. They had the damn biggest riot. It took them almost 5 minutes to get the Andersons back from the ring just to get them back to the dressing room. They were fighting them the whole way. So that was when people are really touched by something. Dusty, and they were mad at themselves, really, because even Ole had sold them on the idea that he needed to get even with his brothers more than he needed to get even with Dusty. But Ole explained this. He said, Dusty, I don't like you. You don't like me. But I need you, and you need me. And boy, Dusty didn't want to do it. And finally, Ole convinced him that, yeah, you're the one I need. And they started that match, and Dusty started. And Dusty sailed along for a while, and he's doing good on his own and blah, blah, blah. And he lulled him into that false sense of security. So when Dusty was about ready to make that tag, make it, he made the tag. Oh, ah. Now they're going to see, and Dusty and Ole coming there like, come on. And everybody just stopped. And everybody went, what the hell? Then they all turned, and Ole pointed his finger like, okay, this is payback, bitch. And they started whooping his ass. And now they knew the setup was in. Didn't need to tell them nothing. And Ole's interviews after that, he said, I had to keep from throwing up when I was talking to you and telling you about my brother, blah, blah, blah. And they just beat the shit out of him. And it got over like a bastard. It's hard to believe. Sometimes they took their time on it, and that was the hottest thing they had, and they worked around that till they got it right where they wanted it. And then they decided to do the turn, which was one of the best I've ever seen. So, and I'm standing in the back. Usually wrestlers go out there and help the other wrestlers. I said, nah, they got enough police out there. I think I'll just keep my ass back here. And they were throwing stuff. Oh my God. It was a full-scale riot, really. I think they arrested like 15 people, 10 or 15 people. Took them off to jail. And then when they got in the back, everything was fine, except maybe, and some people waited on them to leave. They had to run them out of the parking lot. So that was one of the hottest things that I've ever seen. And I've seen things like that, hot like that in Puerto Rico. Not necessarily because people got mad, just people got drunk and they just wanted to beat the hell out of Abdullah one night. So I remember one night Abdullah, they was mad at Abdullah all the time anyway. So he come out of the ring and we was in a baseball stadium. The people came out of the stands and out of like they had ringside. They usually don't have ringside. And they circled the infield, like from first base to second base to third base on the sand part. And they were throwing stuff at Abdullah. I thought they were tearing him up. And Abdullah was keeping his opponent as close as he could to him to keep from getting hit. Or maybe some of it would hit his opponent, not him. And I remember after my match, they were so hot that I had started drinking. And I drank about, I don't know, not a 6-pack, but quite a few. There was a broken 2x4 in the dugout. And I pick up the 2x4 and this is a Southern term, I slung it. I slung it out of the dugout and went whoop, whoop, going around. And it hit some guy right here in the head. And as soon as I hit, I saw the blood. I went nuts. I said, oh my God, I've killed that guy. Oh. And then I ran. I was a chicken shit. I just ran away. And they actually come in and say, who threw that out of the dugout? I said, I don't know. I didn't see it. So anyway, it knocked him silly. And I bet the last time he would participate in like a mini riot, and I didn't mean to hit, I meant to throw it at somebody's legs, but I didn't. I hit him. And if you're listening today, Juan or Carlos or Rafael, lo siento, that means I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Lo siento for mi error, my mistake. So I've apologized.